Welcome back to another episode of the Dodgeball Dudes. I'm Peter and that is Phil, and today we are at the Fairfield Youth Centre with our local league, Dodgeball Sydney. We're going to be interviewing amazing local dodgeball players. These players have been either playing from 2, 3, 4, 5 plus years, and in some cases they have played in the World Dodgeball Championships.
Let's interview!
We're here with Carolyn Lee. She's one of the world star players from Australia. What's your number one piece of advice for new players on how to throw?
Learn correct form early. So your throwing power comes from your leg drive. So if you're throwing a lot with your arms, you'll find that you'll get injured more easily, or you'll get your arms or your shoulders to fatigue a lot easier.
Besides skills and good looks, it's a lot of leg power. The common mistake is people think it's a lot of the upper body, but a lot of the power is generated from the back leg.
A lot of the power comes from your lower body, and that comes from the shifting of momentum from your back leg. So in my case, since I'm right-handed, I would push off that right leg and absorb with that opposite leg, the left leg. That shift of momentum, absorbing with that left leg, that momentum's gonna come from your hips up towards your shoulders, and that power comes through into your throw. So it's that hip to shoulder separation that people like to talk about.
Hip to shoulder separation, the thing that everyone always talks about is pretty much from your hip here to the angle of your shoulder. If you drew like 2 lines through here and through the shoulder, when you plant your foot down, it should be separated. That's when you start using your kinetic chain to pull your body through, your shoulders through, and allow your arm to lay back so you can power through.
Once this hip is fully extended and facing towards your target, that's when your shoulders and arms can come through. And then that's when your torso is twisting. And then when you release, you ideally want to be on top of the ball. If you're releasing behind like this, you're going to end up slicing the ball. You're going to end up like losing a lot of speed.
Your elbow needs to be in front of you, so follow through with your elbow, so then you can release a nice straight ball coming through.
What I think is a good base to start from is the 90-degree rule. Your elbow should be 90 degrees and your shoulder should be 90 degrees to your torso as well. So 90 degrees, and then as you follow through, it sort of whips in front of your body.
Upper body stuff is just always follow through.
Follow through with your throw. Make sure you wrap your arm around your body. Don't like whip it back, otherwise you end up hurting your shoulders like everyone else at dodgeball.
Always finish your wrist at the most front position of your body. That will give the ball the most trajectory and forward momentum that you can.
The one thing you need to understand is that throwing is a full body movement. So it stems from your foot to your knees, to your hips, to your shoulders, then to your arms, to your wrist. It's from bottom to up. So you generate all your power from the floor, you stay grounded as possible, and then it's a full body motion. And that takes practice to get used to learn, your kinetic chain from foot to your wrist.
Yeah, like search up things about like kinetic chains and like baseball throwing and like how to draw power from like your legs up into your throw. Yeah.
The next question we've got here is, what's your advice to be a more accurate thrower?
Practice.
Practice.
Just practice.
I think practice. Try and eliminate as many variables as you can. The first step would be just throw at a single target.
Target practice and throwing a moving target as well. I think positioning, your footing has to be really good. Like you need to be positioning your foot where you're directing your throw.
Practice your mechanics on different positions of the court. Aim for the one spot, but move around so you get to understand how your body differentiates from different angles, and that will give you consistency with your throw no matter where you are on the court.
When you're practicing your throw, I would recommend that you try to release the ball in the same kind of way that makes it most accurate.
I think consistency, as opposed to just hitting a person overall, you should try to aim for the knee, where they move, continually practice it until your muscle memory picks it up.
A lot of it is just muscle memory. So if you use the same throwing form and you throw against the wall 100 times, then when you repeat that on court, then you're probably going to hit that.
Obviously consistency is key, and like, training and stuff. My reminder to my team is if you aim small, then you miss small. So if you aim for a body, then you'll miss by a whole body, like body length or body width. But if you aim for like a tiny knee or like a little button, then you'll miss by a tiny knee or a tiny button. Yeah. Target a specific spot all the time. And in my head, I just go through the motions of like, I'm definitely going to hit this. This is where I'm throwing. The ball's going there. Aim small, miss small.
I was reffing a game just before, and Paul was playing, and you were surprisingly accurate today.
Well, what do you mean today?
Yeah, surprisingly.
One of the first things I ever thought about when throwing was, if it's going too high, it means I'm releasing too early. If it's going too low, it means I'm releasing too late. Yeah. So I would sort of just have to trial and error and just practice makes perfect. Keep on throwing until I get used to how it really feels and adjust my throw each time.
So a lot of people say go from the knees because it's difficult, it's out of the catching zone.
Everyone's got different catching zones. Most people is within their chest and stomach area. Aim at the legs, really. Unless you feel manly and you just want to fucking Pump them.
Smack them.
That's me 90%.
A lot of it is confidence, right? The more confidence you have, the more accurate you are. I know it sounds a bit aggressive, but every time I throw, I'm like, this guy's dead, this girl's dead. Like, that's how I think about it, and that's what makes me throw better. Even with experienced players, once you lose that confidence, your accuracy goes out the window, right?
Is there a drill that new players can practice?
My team, Mavericks, we like playing this drill where we hit a foam roller.
Foam roller.
Foam roller. It's always been the foam roller.
Yeah, foam roller. You notice a lot of people are doing foam roller, and a lot of people are getting those foot shots more.
Yeah.
It's aim small, miss small.
Get my foam roller out, and I want to hit it 10 times before I enter a game. So once I hit 10 times, then I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start honing into zones and stuff.
Me and Kent were actually over during lockdown. We had a lot of accuracy training drills by hanging up a foam roller from a rope, and we can swing that foam roller as well. So it actually has some movement, so it imitates a person moving. And yeah, that's like how we practice our accuracy, hitting a moving target really.
1 out of 8. How do you throw with more power?
Actually, weights and lower body strength is definitely going to help with that again.
In the beginning, I was really weak, but I started gymming a lot. Started working on my shoulder, started working on my buys, and I felt like gradually I started throwing a bit faster, a bit more stronger, I guess. So one suggestion I would give to beginners is, build your muscles. They're really important.
Find some friends who go to the gym and go with them. First place to start off is get stronger.
How do you throw with more power?
How do I throw with more power? You drink pre-workout.
Okay. I guess.
Nah. You lower your center of gravity. So a lot of people throw like this.
Yeah.
Just do this. And now suddenly you're a lot more powerful.
Is it because there's more leg?
Your front leg becomes a lot more stable. When you're up, your leg moves forward, and then when you throw, you end up tipping over. Yeah. But when you lower your center of gravity and you throw, your leg stays still and it forces all the momentum into the upper body.
Yeah, okay.
And also your recovery time's a lot faster because your leg doesn't go, whoa!
Yeah. Whilst it's down, you can just jump back or move wherever you want.
Yeah.
A bit lower.
There's a very simple drill for beginners to understand that how important your legs are in a throw. Literally, go on your knees, and what this will do is that you're removing your legs from your throw and try to throw as hard as you can at a wall or at a person. Now compare that to when you're standing up. All you need to do is take one step and throw, and you realize how much harder and how much faster your ball would travel. And that's only a step compared to when you're isolating your torso, right? So imagine having a full stride with proper form, right? The ball's just gonna fly.
Most importantly is connectivity in your body. Once you get good connectivity from your lower to your mid to upper and your release, then you can try to speed things up. With power, you would probably can train that outside of dodgeball by doing plyometrics or anything that involves explosive training. Yeah. So I do lower body explosive training, I'll try to do tempo squats for core. Core is your trunk is really important because you don't have a stable core, you can't really transfer the power up.
I throw with a lot of twisting power. So sometimes I actually get bruises here. And sometimes after a tournament, I'm this, a few bruises here.
Damn.
Damn. Pretty much if I show you my back, I'm gonna throw really hard.
Yeah, true.
Arm action, you just want to, I guess for arm, you just want to maintain health. So your shoulders, everything, you just want to have good stability. So any kind of stability workouts for your shoulders would be really good. But honestly, consistency would overtake any kind of training or any kind of technique, I guess. In terms of consistency at the gym to get stronger is important, but consistency doing the right thing with throwing is also important. So it's good to have someone watch out for you.
So a lot of it is about repetition and just practicing off court, because a lot of times in court, you're just forced to throw out of pressure, and that could promote really bad habits. But when you're throwing correctly off court and you practice that a lot, that'll slowly transfer to how you play or how you throw on court. That's really good as well.
All right, and last one. What's your best advice for new dodgeball players who want to become a beast like you?
First of all, I'm not a beast. I'm just the average player.
That question implies that I am a beast.
Work on your basics. I think throwing, dodging, blocking, and find what you're good at. If you're good at catching, you're good at throwing or blocking, really work on it.
Play with people you like playing with and also people you admire. I learned a lot from playing with higher-end players, especially who made it into the Australian team. And you get a lot of knowledge coming down from the national team.
You want to be good? Don't do what I did. Look at me and be like, that's a good example of I don't want to do that.
Stretch heaps. Take care of your body. Don't get hurt so you can play dodgeball.
As a newbie player, when you start throwing, it will hurt at first, but don't let it hurt for too long. So stretch it out, take care of it if you want to play for the long term.
I want to play some dodgeball. How do I get started? How do I get better?
I think the first thing I would say, given that I've been injured a few times, you start and you're not sure what the hell is going on with your body. If it starts hurting, stop, reevaluate, ask for advice and make sure you rest.
Have fun. Like, honestly, don't stress out. It's not too serious. Just have fun and you'll get better because you enjoy what you do. If you take it too seriously, you won't be as good because you're just focusing on too many things. Just have fun and just be confident and, you'll become very good naturally. Hopefully.
Have fun and be confident.
I think honestly, if your attitude's in the right place and you just have fun every time, you'll just naturally progress. You'll just naturally want to get better. So just don't be too hard on yourself.
And just be patient and your skill level will increase. The biggest thing though is don't get an ego. Stay humble, and there's always going to be someone out that's better than you, or if you have a big ego, you're not going to grow. So if you stay humble and you're always willing to learn, then you'll get better.
If you could give one advice to new dodgeball players.
Just learn to get the fuck out of the way. The longer you're on court, the more experience you get. And the longer you stay on court, the more frustrated the other person gets. And then you tilt them, and then you teabag them, and then they die.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Best advice for new dodgeball players. I have two answers for that. It depends on what your goals are. If your goals is to improve individually, then basically it's just working your foundations. Learn how to run faster, learn how to lift heavier, gym more, be more stronger as an individual, so that when you do play, you don't gas out halfway through the game and you don't disappoint yourself. You're nice and strong and fit, and you can play as much as you want, right? And the second goal is that if you don't really want to play competitively individually, but you want to play the sport as a team sport, then look for a team. Look for people who you admire. Walk up to them and ask, hey, do you have any tips and advice? Am I allowed to, can I join you in a training session or two?
Yeah. Look, I started from very humble beginnings. I started with Peter. He brought me into dodgeball. And Peter will know my origins. I used to be so terrible at dodgeball. All my balls were just sky high. I used to be that kid where I was picked last for sports in school and all that. But if you have a passion for dodgeball, as long as you have that passion and you have that motivation, ask people around you, you'll keep on improving yourself.
I think just get to know the community because we've got such a warm, tight-knit community. I think as soon as you start talking to more people, you realize it's not that intimidating. I think as soon as you step off court, everyone's just really close, everyone's really good friends. So my advice would just be start talking to people and then you'll calm right down. It's not that scary.
Just talk to the community. We're a giving community, so learn from watching and doing.
Stick around in the community. If you're really passionate about it, watch other people play, pick up on what they do, follow some players around, see how they throw, how they play.
Everyone is really friendly in the community, and just like watching this video, you'll probably learn quite a few tips and tricks from everyone they've interviewed. Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
We didn't tell him to say that. It wasn't me. It's Peter.
Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed all the throwing tips that all the players gave you. Comment below your #1 tip that you heard. If you have a good throwing tip yourself, then leave it down in the comments below for everyone to learn.
Like the video, comment down below, and hit the subscribe button for more Dodgeball Dudes awesomeness. Oh wait, why did I drop the ball? We have to do our outro.